What if the entire world ended and you were taught only two things: run or die? In a world where humans are more dangerous than zombies, and where the price of the truth could be your life. So get ready, because this story is about to shake you to your core. And in the middle of it all, a brief welcome. Welcome to MOVOX range. Now the question is, can you stay till the very end to uncover the truth? Suddenly, a zombie virus spreads across the entire city, and only a handful of people survive. The worst part is that every child born after the outbreak is already infected, and it raises one terrifying question. Is this the end of humanity? We'll find out soon enough. Today's story begins with a young boy named Mark, who has lived his whole life deep in an isolated forest with his father, completely unaware of the outside world. He has no friends, and his father barely speaks. His entire world is limited to the silence of the woods and his father's strict rules, where every day feels the same, but something uneasy always lingers beneath the surface. His father teaches him only two things. Outside the forest there are zombies, and the remaining humans have become even more dangerous than them. During the day, his father goes out hunting and leaves Mark with a gun for protection. Mark spends his childhood listening to music and reading books, and sometimes he gets lost in those stories, imagining a place where life is still normal and people still smile. The book is old and worn out, but he still loves reading it. It also mentions a magical fairy, and ever since childhood, Mark has had a mark shaped like a letter M on his hand. He believes it's a magical symbol, not just a letter, but something tied to his future, something that might change his life one day. One day, while wandering through the forest, Mark spots a van. He feels uneasy, worried someone might be inside, so he keeps his distance, but he can't stop thinking about it. Maybe someone really is in there. And the next morning, using the excuse of fetching water, he goes back. Fear and curiosity pull him in opposite directions, like something unknown is calling him closer, while his instincts tell him to stay away. Gathering the courage, he steps inside and finds everything surprisingly clean, with children's toys scattered around, making it seem like someone actually lives there. Then suddenly, a shadow moves in the dark, and Mark freezes in fear, but as it gets closer, he realizes it's another kid. The child gently hands him a toy, as if trying to make a friend, and in that moment, the fear fades into something unfamiliar: comfort. Mark takes off his headphones and offers them, and at first the other kid hesitates, but when he hears the soft music, a smile slowly appears. They're about the same age, and before long, they begin to enjoy each other's company. A quiet friendship forms between them, small but meaningful, like a flicker of hope in a world that has almost lost everything. The girl's name is Mee, and she has a gentle nature. After some time, she has to leave, and without hesitation, she gives Mark his favorite toy. As Mark heads back, a strange feeling creeps in, like someone is watching him, and he tries to stay hidden in the forest. His heartbeat starts pounding, and with every step, it feels like something unseen is getting closer. Suddenly, a woman steps in front of him, holding a gun, and stops him. But the moment she sees the toy in his hand, her expression softens. She looks at him with warmth, tells him to head home quickly, and even hands him some wild fruit. Mark realizes she must be Mee's mother, because she recognized her child's toy. Then Mee's mom walks over to her and pulls her into a hug, and watching that moment, something shifts inside Mark. It leaves a hollow feeling, like he's realizing for the first time that something important is missing from his own life. When he gets back home, he hides the toy, but he forgot to bring water, and his father scolds him. Mark steps forward and tries to hug him, but his father immediately pushes him away. After that, Mark runs into Mee's mother a few more times, and her kind words remind him of what a mother's presence might feel like. Now, something new begins to grow inside him, not just fear, but a quiet longing for warmth, connection, and belonging. One day, during dinner, he finally gathers the courage to ask about his mother, but his father stays silent, and Mark doesn't dare to ask anything else. He hides behind the window and watches his father outside looking at a video. The next morning, his father leaves to hunt like always, but then something feels off. There's a strange uneasiness inside him, like a truth is about to surface, and he's both afraid of it and drawn to it. He hears screams and gunshots in the distance, and he knows something is wrong. His father tells him to hide somewhere safe, and heads out with a gun to check, while Mark wanders around. He hides in the bushes, and from a distance sees Mee's mum sitting there, injured. Moments later, his father walks toward her with a gun, and everything feels like it slows down. Mark's breath almost stops, because whatever is about to happen will change everything. His father shoots her, and Mark is left in shock. He never imagined his father could be this cruel. He runs back home immediately and lies on the bed, pretending to be asleep. His father returns soon after, clearly in a bad mood. Now fear and doubt settle inside Mark, and he starts to feel like the person he trusted the most might be the biggest threat. His father keeps repeating that he's back over and over again. Mark puts on his headphones and acts like nothing happened, but inside the tension keeps building. The questions in his mind only grow stronger. When his father finally falls asleep, Mark quietly takes out the video camera filled with old family memories, back when they were happy, before Mark was even born, and when he had an older sister. With every video, a new truth starts to surface, slowly breaking the innocence of his childhood. In the next video, his mother looks terrified and anxious. She says, "My love, my son, I love you so much," and then his father's angry voice is heard before the video cuts off. Mark starts to believe that his father may have killed his mother. Fear replaces trust, and now he feels like his father is capable of anything. So when his father falls into a deep sleep, Mark quietly handcuffs him. He packs his things and slips out of the house without making a sound. He returns to the van, easily finds his friend Mickey, and tells him they need to leave the forest. It's not an easy decision, but he knows there's no other way out. But Mickey wants to wait for his mom. Mark doesn't hide anything and tells him the truth, and seeing Mickey upset, he hugs him. For the first time, Mark feels like he truly has someone. The two boys start moving forward, but suddenly Mark stops. His instincts kick in, warning him like something dangerous is very close, just waiting for the right moment. He grew up with his father, so he knows how to sense danger, and the feeling hasn't left him. He pulls Mickey into the bushes, and they hide together. Then they see zombies approaching, and they have no choice but to run. But the zombies keep coming, and the boys keep running. With every step, it feels like death is chasing them. Their breathing getting heavier, like they're seconds away from collapse. Then they spot an old broken down car and jump inside without thinking. Soon, a large group of zombies surrounds the car from all sides. It feels like the next second the car will flip over. Just as fear takes over, gunshots suddenly echo outside. Someone is firing, and that sound sparks a small hope inside them, like a light breaking through the darkness. I'm firing at the zombies, and one by one they keep dropping. Then the car door swings open, and Mark's body is lying there. Earlier that morning, when I woke up, I realized my son was gone. I broke the handcuffs right away, and used everything I knew to track him. The fear and panic of a father were written all over me, because the thought of losing my son was tearing me apart. I found the trail he left behind, and luckily, I got there just in time. In that moment of danger, I was able to save him. I pull Mark into my arms, and feel a wave of relief knowing he's safe. But then the screams of zombies rise again, and the danger comes rushing back. The relief doesn't last long, like death is still standing right beside us. I hear something in the distance, so without wasting a second, I pull him out of the car and start moving. Mark wants to bring Me's mum with us, but I ignore him. He yanks his hand free and screams for the first time. I look at him, shocked, trying to explain, but the zombies are getting closer. I hide him behind the roots of a tree and step forward with my gun. Right now, survival matters more than anything, and I'm ready to fight whatever comes for my son. Mark stands there, holding his ground. From a distance, he watches his father take down zombies, one after another. For the first time, something shifts inside him. He feels proud. As he moves toward Me's mum's car, he starts thinking maybe his father isn't who he believed him to be. But then, in the next moment, everything changes. A zombie stumbles toward him and gets dangerously close. There's no time to run. His hands shake as he lifts the small gun and fires. Hearing the shot, his father instantly panics, fearing something happened to his son. Even in the middle of chaos, his only focus is Mark. He runs toward the hill, but a zombie suddenly attacks him. He struggles, barely manages to take it down, and rushes back to his son. Seeing Mark unharmed, he feels relief, but then Mark notices something. There's a bite mark on his father's hand. While escaping earlier, a zombie must have bitten him, and now he knows he can't stay with his son much longer. He takes a deep breath, carrying the weight of a truth he can't escape. He slowly steps back and sits near a dried tree. He can feel something changing inside his body. He tells Mark that his mother was bitten by a zombie too, and he was afraid she would turn. That's why he shot her. Mark takes out his mother's picture and shows it to him. In that moment, a truth unfolds between them that changes everything. Mark asks if his mom died the same way, and his father nods. Then he says something unexpected. Your mother was like a fairy, and even after being bitten, nothing happened to her. The mark on your hand, that's from her. After the virus spread, some soldiers came and took her away. Hearing this, Mark realizes how wrong he was about his father. His father had been carrying all that love in silence. Regret settles deep inside Mark because he understands it too late. He heads his father tightly, but now it doesn't change anything. The virus is already spreading through his father's body. With his last breaths, he tells Mark to run, and then his eyes fade and he turns into a zombie. It's the most painful end to their bond. There was love, but no time left to hold on to it. When Mark finds his friend Mickey in the car, he grabs his hand and starts moving forward. Then a gunshot echoes from the hill behind them. That sound carries a finality that shakes Mark to his core. He understands what it means. His father is gone. He feels the weight of that loss, but at the same time, something inside him grows stronger. Now, he has only one goal: to find his mother. The two boys wander through the empty forest together. While playing along the way, they don't even realize when they reach a small human settlement. They see an older man resting in the sun near some railroad tracks. For them, it feels like a place of hope, somewhere they might finally feel safe. The boys walk up to him and ask for food because they're starving. The man feels sympathy and gives them something to eat. When he hears that Mark is heading to find his mother at the base of the fairies, his expression turns heavy. It's like he knows something about that place, or fears it may not even exist. But even then, Mark holds on to hope. No matter how hard the path is, he believes he will find his mother. He wants to help the two kids, but he can't leave because all of his own children have turned into zombies. He can't bring himself to kill them, so he's locked them inside a cage. He feels relieved seeing Mark and me safe, but the pain in his eyes says everything. Watching his own kids like that is the worst punishment any father could face. He talks about the children who didn't survive the virus, including his own, and you can hear the weight in his voice. Then he encourages the boys to keep moving forward, telling them maybe they'll be the ones to find a cure. After saying goodbye, Mark and me walk along the railroad tracks. After a while, they come across a broken down train, and seeing something that big for the first time leaves them stunned. Curiosity and fear rise together inside them. Like every new discovery comes with its own hidden danger. After messing around with the engine, they move toward the back halls. But there, they see a large number of zombies, and panic hits hits them instantly. They turn and run, but suddenly, two armed men step in front of them, pointing guns their way. Soon after, the boys are taken to an abandoned factory. The men work for a gangster, and when he sees the kids unharmed, he's surprised. Now they're trapped in a new kind of danger, where human cruelty feels even worse than the zombies. Mi has an innocent face and clear, gentle eyes. One of the men starts to believe the child is like an angel, because staying human in a world like this is nearly impossible. There's something about that innocence that sparks a small sense of hope, even in a place this cold. Because of that, the gangster decides to keep Mi close and orders Mark to be killed. In his mind, one healthy child is enough. But when one of the men sees the picture of Mark's mother, something shifts inside him. He feels sympathy, like a small piece of humanity still survives in him. The gangster speaks into a walkie-talkie, calling others to join him because he's found a healthy child. Meanwhile, the man who feels for Mark quietly takes his chance and lets him go. He believes that if even one more child survives, there's still hope left in the world. Mark doesn't run right away. He stays. He waits until the men fall asleep, then quietly sneaks into Mickey's room. Moving slowly through the darkness, the two of them escape from where they were being held. The next morning, the gangster realizes the boys are gone. Furious, he shoots one of his own men. At the same time, Mark searches through a building for supplies. Now running isn't just a choice, it's the only way they can survive. For the first time, Mark puts on clean clothes and gets ready to step outside to meet Mickey. But then he realizes the boss and his men have tracked him down. They surround Mickey and prepare to capture Mark. Once again, everything turns against them. Like trouble always follows right after hope. Then suddenly, a drone appears overhead and gunfire rains down. The gangster and all his men are taken out, dropping to the ground in seconds. Mark runs downstairs and sees soldiers stepping out from a secured position. He's about to reveal himself, but Mickey shakes his head and stops him. It's a moment where a single decision can mean life or death. As a soldier starts moving toward where Mark is hiding, Mickey grabs a gun from the ground. He deliberately draws attention to himself, and in that moment, he sacrifices everything for his friend. He takes the shot himself, saving Mark's life. His sacrifice becomes proof of their bond, real friendship, where he gives his life so his friend can live. As soon as he dies, the soldiers stop their search. That hits Mark hard. A deep emptiness settles inside him. Like with every loss, a part of him disappears too. He can't move past the pain of losing his friend. After his father, he's now lost the only friend he had. The words his father once said echo in his mind. Humans are more dangerous than zombies. He realizes there's no such thing as fairies. They were just stories people made up. Something changes in him. The innocence is gone, replaced by a harsh truth that keeps making him stronger. The mark on his hand means something else. In anger, he tears apart his storybook. Now he has only one reason to keep going, to find his mother, the one he lost years ago. Eventually, he reaches an abandoned city where tall buildings have turned into ruins. The streets are empty, filled with distant, haunting screams. Mark controls his fear and keeps escaping from groups of zombies. Finally, he reaches the place where his mother's picture was taken. Without hesitation, he walks into the building and starts checking each room. At last, he spots a woman standing near a window. Hope is the only thing left in him now, pushing him forward through every danger, even though it's also his greatest weakness. A woman stands there, facing away. For a second, Mark believes she looks like his mother. He can't stop himself. He slowly walks up, takes her hand, and pulls her into a hug. She doesn't turn around. In that moment, everything he's been holding inside comes rushing out. It feels like years of waiting are finally over. But then, she bites his hand. Mark freezes. He realizes the truth. This isn't his mother. It's a zombie. Panic hits him, and he runs back, slamming the door shut. The next moment, he breaks down. He thought he finally found her. But now, even that last hope is gone. He can't understand what's happening to him anymore. Everything inside him collapses at once, leaving him completely alone in this brutal world. Then suddenly, he hears a broadcast coming from another building. Drawn to the sound, he moves toward it. A 3D video is playing, someone giving a speech. The message talks about survivors and a place that still exists. As the voice echoes, zombies begin gathering in that direction. But for Mark, that sound feels like a path opening up in the darkness. Reply. But Mark doesn't react to any of it. At this point, he has no reason left to stop. He puts on his headphones and quietly starts praying. He doesn't even notice the gunfire erupting all around him. It's like he's moved beyond fear and pain, accepting whatever comes next. Around him, zombies start dropping one after another. When he turns back, red laser sights cover him from multiple directions. Government soldiers step in and clear out the remaining zombies. Then one of the female soldiers notices the bite on his hand. She slowly walks toward him. Mark doesn't resist. He just wants to feel one last human touch. He steps forward and hugs her, but then she notices something. The mark on his hand. She quickly removes her mask and shouts. Calling out to the others, she points to the mark. Moments later, they decide to take Mark with them to a secure location. It means something important. People with that mark aren't affected by the virus. Even if they're bitten, they don't turn. And with that, the story comes to an end. In the end, one thing becomes clear. Hope never truly disappears. And sometimes, the very thing that makes someone different becomes their greatest strength. So friends, this wasn't just a story. It was a real story about trust, pain, and hope. Now think about it. If you were in Mark's place, what would you do? And if you want more stories like this, ones that shake both your mind and your heart, then go ahead and subscribe to MOVOX Range right now, because every story here will leave you thinking long after it ends.